Hey guys, Tom here from Ultralight Gear, and today I'm going to take you for a bit of a run through three of our best-selling Nitecore head torches. So we've got the NU20 here, the NU25, and the NU27. But first of all, what's similar about them? Well, in terms of the build quality, they are all quite similar. They're all USB-C rechargeable, they all have multiple brightness modes, red lights, and SOS lights. They all lock to ensure they don't use up all their power in your pack. All these head torches are rated to IP66, which means that they're water resistant and dust proof. So you don't want to submerge them, but it's fine for them to get a little bit wet, and they're going to be fine through any conditions you might encounter out on the trail. So first of all, the NU20. The lightest weight, smallest that we stock in the range. This is the most similar to the early model NU25, which took the ultralight hiking world by storm when it first came out. It's super simple, ultralight, and for its size, has impressive battery life, with a built-in 500 mAh battery, powering a max brightness of 360 lumens. Being a lightweight head torch, it's got a thin band which is super adjustable, and a small piece of foam that rests against your forehead. The torch is so light that it's easy to forget it's there. You can also adjust the angle of the beam. The original NU25 was loved by hikers, mainly because of how simple it was, and the new NU20 works very similarly. It's got two buttons, an on button, and on the NU20, it's labeled R for red light. So to turn it on, you just press the power button once for low, once again for mid, and then the final time for high, and to turn it off, just press it once more. If you hold it on, you'll get the auxiliary light, which is 1 lumen, so this is a reading light and lasts a long time. If you hold the power button on again while the light is on, you'll get to the boost mode, which is the maximum of 360 lumens. With the red light settings, press the R button once to turn it on to low, once again to turn it on to high, and then the final time will turn it to flashing. To turn it off, just press it again. To get to the SOS mode, just turn on the power button and hold down until you see the light start to flash. To turn it off, just press it again. To lock any of these head torches, simply hold down both buttons at once until you see the light flash. That means the torch is now locked. You'll know this because if you try and use it, any button press will just result in a really short flash. To turn it off this, it's the same as turning it on, so just hold down both for 3 seconds until the light comes on again. To check the battery power in this, just hold down the R button until you see the 4 bars come up. Each one represents 25% battery. In terms of brightness modes from this light, on turbo of 360 lumens, you get 2 hours of this light. On high of 200 lumens, you get 5 hours. On mid of 38 lumens, you get 7 hours. And on that low light I was showing you, you'll get 97 hours at 1 lumen. At under 40 grams and around $40, this light is super budget friendly, super light. It's going to do everything you need it to do around camp. If you're someone who needs a lot of light, who's going to be walking in the dark, trail running, something like that, perhaps you're going to look for something with a little bit more power and a little bit more battery life. But unless that's the case, this is super simple and it's going to get everything done that you need it to. Okay, so moving on to the NU25. This light is about 10 grams heavier, but with that, you get an increased battery size with a built-in 700 mAh battery, powering a maximum brightness of 400 lumens. And it also has 2 buttons, although the second button is labeled mode rather than R on this model. So it's got a lot of the general features I just took you through on the NU20. You can adjust the lens angle. It's got multiple different brightness modes. This is the UL version, so it has a similar headband to the NU20, although you can also get it with a headband that's more similar to the NU27. So again, super lightweight strap. Again, super adjustable. And that just pulls through. It can be a little bit awkward to get used to, but once you set it up, it's super easy to use. It's got a little bit of foam padding on the forehead as well, so super comfortable. As I mentioned earlier, this one also comes with a light diffusing stuff sack. Because it doesn't have the super low brightness mode, this just means that you can put this over the light in camp, get the light coming through, and have a nice lamp that you can sit around rather than just a blinding head torch. In terms of additional features, it's got different warmths of light. So you can have a warm light, a cool light, or just the normal light that the NU20 comes with as well. So as I said, it's got slightly different buttons. It's still got the 2 on the top, but it's got a power button and a mode button instead of a power button and an R button. They work kind of similarly, but also quite differently. So to turn it on, you just hold down the power button until it turns on, and then each subsequent press will filter through the modes from low to mid to high. And then to turn it off, you just hold down the power button again. To go into the different warmth settings, you turn it on the same way, holding down the power button, and then you can change on the mode button. Each press will take you to warm light, cool light, and then back to standard. In each of these settings, you can still go through the different brightness modes from low to mid to high across all three. Now this one also has an ultra low mode and also an ultra high. To get to these, you're going to double press the power button when it's off to get to ultra low, and when the light is on, if you double press it again, you'll get to boost mode. So to check the battery on this one, you're just going to do a single press of the mode button and it's going to come up with the 4 little bars, each one again representing 25%. So to get to the SOS mode on this one, you're just going to double press the mode button. Now, weirdly enough, it seems like it turns off when you press the power button, but it actually goes onto a really slow flash. And if you press that again, it goes into a red flashing light. To turn it off, you're just going to hold down on the power button. Now, to get into the red light settings, instead of holding down the power button like you did to get into the white light settings, you're going to hold down the mode button until the red light comes on. But to filter through, you're going to go back to the power button and go from low to high. And then if you press that again, it goes back to low. And to turn it off, again, you can just hold down either button. Now the lock on this light works the same. So you're just going to hold down the top 2 buttons. The notifications that this is on are the same again. Any button press will just result in a small flash and will not turn the light on. And to get out of this mode, simply hold down both buttons again. So let's talk about battery life of the NU25. So on high of 400 lumens, you'll get 2 hours and 40 minutes, so a little bit more than the NU20. On mid of 200 lumens, you'll get 5 hours. On low of 70 lumens, you'll get 13 hours, and an ultra low of 6 lumens, you'll get 45 hours. So who is the NU25 for? It's a little bit bigger, a little bit brighter, a little bit more battery life, and a lot more complicated. It's for those people who are going to be doing a bit more walking at night, a bit of trail running after work, need a little bit of extra brightness, but don't need too much extra, don't need too much extra battery life. It's got the different warmth settings, so that's not just about having a pretty light, although it does give you that. It's also about cutting through the conditions a bit better. So the warm light's going to work really well in rain or foggy conditions, whereas the cool light is going to make you feel more awake. It feels a bit more like you're hiking through the middle of the day. If you're going to be doing a lot of night hiking or a lot of overnight trail running or anything that just needs a lot of battery life and a lot of power, this probably still isn't the light for you. But for most applications, this is going to be just fine. So finally, we've got the NU27. So again, this is a little bit bigger, a little bit brighter, slightly longer battery life, a little bit heavier, a little bit more expensive. This comes with an increased battery size. So this one comes with an 850 milliamp hour battery, which powers a maximum of 600 lumens. This one again comes with the light diffusing stuff sack, as it doesn't have those low power modes like the NU20 does. And it also comes with this clip. So you can actually plug that into the back there when you remove the strap and then move it down like that. So the light will just clip onto your hat. In terms of functionality, the NU27 is super similar to the NU25. If you hold down the power button, it'll turn on. Each subsequent press will filter through the different modes until you turn it off again by holding it down. To get into the different warmth lights, you're again going to hold it down and then you're going to press the mode button to filter through those. And as you're in them, you can again just press the power button to change the brightness in all 3 of those modes. So to get into the ultra low power mode, you're going to double press the power button. And then to get into the turbo mode, you're just going to double press it again. Similarly, getting into the SOS button is a matter of double pressing the mode button. And then pressing the power button from here will take you into the white flashing light. Pressing it again will take you into the red flashing light. And then you can just hold either button to turn it off. A single press of the mode button will bring up the battery indicator. Same deal here, 4 bars, each representing 25%. Again, the lock is the same on this one. So if you hold down both buttons for 2 seconds, you'll see the light flash. If you press it in this mode, it'll just flash saying it can't do that. Hold it again for 2 seconds, both buttons that is, and it'll come back on. So as I mentioned earlier, this light does have the turbo mode of 600 lumens. It doesn't actually tell you how long it will last in this, as you're not meant to spend prolonged periods of time in this. It's more for spotlighting something or, seeing something ahead in the distance. So you'll mostly be using the high mode, which is 400 lumens, and you get 3 hours of battery on high. In mid, which is 200 lumens, you get 6.5 hours battery, and on low of 70 lumens, the light will last 13 hours. You've also, of course, got the ultra low mode of 6 lumens, which will last 57 hours. So to summarize, the NU27, again, is a bit bigger, a bit heavier, a bit brighter. It retails for around $100 Australian. This is a great light if you're planning on spending a bit more time out in the dark, doing some trail runs through the night, doing some night hiking. Again, it's not going to see you through the whole night. You're going to need to recharge it, which is going to be an issue. So it's not really intended for those purposes, but this is more for an ultralight hiker who is going to need a bit of light at the beginning and the end of the day, but is going to have time to charge their light between each use. It is a little bit complicated, but you're going to be using it every day if you choose this light, so you'll quite quickly figure out how to use it. So to summarize, who is each light for? Well, to be honest, they're all fairly similar in their application. They're for ultralight hikers who need a head torch, who have a power bank that they're going to be able to recharge it with, who aren't going to be doing extended periods of hiking through the night. But it really depends on what you are going to be doing. If you just need something as a backup emergency light, or you're after something simple, the NU20 is for you. If you want a bit more brightness, a bit more power, but you still don't want to go to a bigger, heavier light, then the NU25 might be for you. If you don't mind a little bit of extra weight, spending a little bit more money, and you're going to be doing a little bit more, maybe hiking into the night for a couple of hours each day, or, you just want the peace of mind of having a bigger, brighter light, or you need the spotlight feature maybe, then the NU27 is going to be right for you. Really, you can't go wrong with this range. They're tried and tested. If you see any gear loadout videos on YouTube, you're sure to see a Nitecore Headtorch featured. For more info and all of the specs, jump on the Ultralight Gear website or come and see us in store and we can take you through the lights and show you them in person.